too. During the heat of the game, it's clear he's a champ when all else disappears. Rally the team with a wink and a cheer. He's the leader that everyone fears. Quickly, it's a real heater. Once my friend, he's a locker room leader. In the chaos, he's the center, turning us into believers.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Monday night. It is 7 p.m. and that means it is time for the Locker Room Breakdown, courtesy of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. I am OM Dynamic. Boston, Massachusetts, New York City. Two very, very close rivals in terms of sporting. The Knicks and the Celtics, the Rangers and the Bruins, the Yankees and the Red Sox. Need I say more? Last week, TD Garden in Boston, John Cena's last Raw in his hometown. Tonight, John Cena's last appearance on Raw comes to us from Madison Square Garden, the Mecca in New York City. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot believe it. We are now less than a month from John Cena's last match. Tonight is absolutely historic. And what a show we had last week. What a show we have lined up tonight for Monday Night Raw. Last week, we started off with John Cena being able to do something he had never done in his career. So let's look back, shall we? Last week started off with Triple H in the ring, which caught some of us here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program a little bit by surprise, but definitely understandable as to why. Triple H came out and he said you can define the GOAT by so many different metrics. Marquees, headlines, WrestleMania main events, merch sales, PR, box office. And he's not just talking about Hollywood. How does he represent the company? Triple H honestly said, doing what I've done, having been a wrestler, being a fan, and doing what I do as the chief content officer, there is only one. And he proceeded to introduce the never seen 17 John Cena to a thunderous ovation from the Boston crowd. Well deserved. John proceeded to talk and he said, he thanked everybody, but did say he wanted to be a little bit selfish. And he wanted to have that match in Boston to be able to go out the right way. I waited for a little bit more from Triple H. I didn't get it. Instead, we got Dom Mysterio. Something that I know we all absolutely applauded and loved at the Raw Patrol and here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. They went on and Dom went toe-to-toe with John Cena on the mic. Dom is that guy, ladies and gentlemen. Dom is the heir apparent, the next in line, as far as I am concerned. Dom came out to actually address Hunter and what happened with Ray the previous week and what Hunter was going to do about it. John got involved and said, Dom, you're picking the wrong fight, the wrong time, the wrong place. And Dom told him, you know what? Anytime, any place. And that's where Triple H got involved and said, guess what, Dom? You are putting the Intercontinental title on the line right here, right now, against John Cena. Ladies and gentlemen, the match that we were treated to was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. John really seems to be picking up the momentum and really starting to show that he can still go in the ring, starting to get back up to full speed before it's going to come crashing down in just a matter of weeks. I shouldn't say crashing down, ladies and gentlemen, before it all comes to an end. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in his career, John Cena is your Intercontinental Champion, defeating Dirty Dom. And John Cena was greeted by the entire locker room in the backstage area, shaking hands, receiving congratulations and praise. It came across Ray, the two shook hands, and John said, Dom's a good kid. Are we starting to see that turn? Are they trying to push Dom back into that babyface role? I really hope not. I love Dom as a heel, and I want to see him take it that next level. I don't want him to go back and rehash something he's already done. I want to see him take it to that next level. And whether that's at Survivor Series and beating his father by nefarious means, or if we wait all the way until Triple Mania next year and we get Dom defending that AAA Mega Championship against Ray at Triple Mania in a title versus mask match. I think you could still do both, but I really do not need or want to see Dom versus Ray on WWE TV in the near future. Was this short-sighted on WWE's part? No, I don't think it was. I think this was the moment to make history. I really hoped and I thought that with Triple H staying in the ring as long as he did, even through Dom, I was waiting for Triple H to say to John Cena, it is also our privilege right here in Boston to tell you that you are going into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2026. John Cena and Stephanie McMahon at the same Hall of Fame class? That, for me, would probably arguably go down as the greatest class of all time. On to our first round match in the Last Time Is Now tournament. Rusev versus Damian Priest. This was the opening match in a 16-man tournament to see who is going to face the aforementioned Intercontinental Champion, John Cena, on Saturday night's main event, Saturday, December the 13th. This was a hard-hitting contest, ladies and gentlemen, and you wouldn't expect any less from guys like Priest or Rusev. This was a match that I really didn't see anything more than it just being a knockdown, drag out. Rusev really controlled the match, but then it started going a little bit back and forth as Priest built some momentum. No question there. And at one point, it was one person would get control, but it wouldn't last. The momentum shifts were fluent. This was a great match. In the end, Rusev did come away with the victory after raking the eyes and delivering the Machka kick. So it wasn't the accolade. It wasn't anything like that. Mr. Best coming in saying, good evening, bro. Thank you, Mr. Best. Always a pleasure to have you here. We are just discussing the Priest-Rusev match from the first round of the Last Time Is Now tournament. I thought this was a good match. Certainly for me was not the match of the night or the moment of the night. I can't say that any of us were really surprised that Rusev won. Rusev needs a new direction. I've had Rusev picked to be the guy to go to Saturday night's main event and beat John Cena. This match, yeah, again, it was good. Wasn't as fast-paced as I would have liked, but that's what happens when you get two guys who hit as hard as Priest and Rusev do. I wouldn't call it slow by any stretch of the imagination, but it just wasn't a fast-paced. If this would have been more of a ground and pound match for either man or both men, I think it would have really delivered a little bit more. Priest needs to pull himself out of this funk, whatever he is in, whether it's this Aleister Black situation he's in on SmackDown. Priest needs to pull himself out of this funk and start building his way back up the card. Mr. Best saying this was a hard-hitting match, and he left the match wanting more out of them. I can absolutely understand that. And I would like to see that as well. Little bit more for the next time, though. Doesn't have to be a steel cage, doesn't have to be any type of a gimmick match, just a good, hard-hitting fight. Next up, we heard from our World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. And man, did he ever deliver on the mic yet again. The best on the mic in the world, 100%. Number one contendership, I don't know. It would have to be, I think, for Cody's title, not for Punk's. Mr. Best suggesting a feud between Priest and Rusev for the number one contender spot. I think on SmackDown, sure. I don't think on Raw. But CM Punk went out there, called out Logan Paul saying he wanted to fight because of Punk's betrayal. Or because of Logan Paul's betrayal, I'm sorry. Logan Paul came out on the mic saying, no, 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 no. I'm not going to do this. I have a new vision. And then he was joined by Paul Heyman, by Braun Breaker, by Bronson Reed. Paul Heyman got on the mic and ran down CM Punk the only way Paul Heyman can, calling him the most unlikable person in the world. The only way he could be more unlikable is if his name was AJ Lee. Punk said, if my wife was here, she would leave you in a pile of your own urine and blood. But it's up to me, so I'll take on all of you. And that's two of you, Heyman. So as they came down to the ring, all of a sudden, into the ring comes Jey Uso to stand side by side with Punk. And then Cody's music hits. Now, we did see Mr. Best, thank you, saying there's a rumor that AJ Lee is at Raw tonight. We will get into the preview section in a little while. But that really wouldn't surprise me. We had seen Cody make his way to Raw because it was John Cena's last match in Boston and he wasn't going to miss it. So Cody came out to make it a 3-on-3 situation. A little bit later on, we did see Punk, Jey, and Cody in the back. And all of a sudden, they got talked to by Adam Pearce. And Punk said, you know what? I'm tired of these games. I'm ready to go to war. Adam Pearce said, are you saying what I think you're saying? Punk shouts for Regal. And of course, we got the War Games call. So we know that we are going to get Cody, Punk, and Jey versus Logan Paul and The Vision inside War Games. Who will join them? We got our answer on SmackDown as to two more people, one per side. I'm sure we will find out more tonight. The match I was really, really looking forward to last week. In fact, I even had it so much that I was willing to crown a new Women's World Heavyweight Championship or Women's World Heavyweight Champion as Stephanie Vicaire defended her title one-on-one against Raquel Rodriguez. Stephanie did have Nikki Bella accompany her to the ring. Raquel, of course, had Roxanne Perez. And ladies and gentlemen, again, this match absolutely delivered. This was hard-hitting, technical, fast-paced, power versus agility, strength versus speed. Both women left it all out there in the ring. The one thing that happened, Stephanie did pick up the win in a great match. For me, perhaps, and we're closing in on what could have been the match of the night for me. But then what happened really did not come as a shock. Nikki Bella got into the ring to save the beatdown on Stephanie Vicaire after Raquel lost. Chased off the Judgment Day, only to then blast Stephanie Vicaire with the belt and leave it. What is the point in bringing Nikki Bella back, giving her 2 matches 2 weeks in a row for that? Where is the payoff? There is going to be no Women's World Heavyweight Championship run for Nikki Bella. This is just going to be another match that is going to showcase Nikki is still a step behind. Really, for me, I think Nikki needs to move over to SmackDown. Maybe she can form a tag team. Maybe she can become a slagent for Chelsea Green. That seems to be probably the best fit for me for Nikki Bella. Mr. Best, please do not jinx this. We do not need Nikki as our Women's World Heavyweight Championship. If she does, this is your fault, and we will put you in timeout for 2 weeks. The next match in the Last Time Is Now tournament then took place. For me, this was a fantastic match, and another guy that I have potentially going on to challenge John Cena in that final match, as Shinsuke Nakamura takes on Sheamus. Again, this match was probably even more hard-hitting than Priest and Rusev, more striking. Both men were fan favorites. This match was absolutely incredible. I'm going to put it as even better than Priest and Rusev. This was Shinsuke Nakamura's return to Raw. He hasn't been on Raw in quite some time. So this match was high impact. In the end, it was both men absolutely hitting each other with everything they had, countering, that led to the brogue kick and the victory for Sheamus. I know my pick, I picked Rusev to go all of the way. Sheamus is another guy that I think deserves it. And I think that this is the way, and I know it's not popular among the guys here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. But to have Sheamus, who really jump-started his career beating John Cena for the World Championship, could now go retire John Cena and win the Intercontinental Championship, to do the exact same thing that John Cena just did and win the one title he's never held. I'm okay with that. Like I said, I know it is not a popular idea among the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, but ladies and gentlemen out there, what do you think? We were then announced tonight's matches for the Last Time Is Now tournament from Adam Pearce. And when we are going to discuss these a little bit more, we are getting Javon Evans from NXT coming in to take on a returning Ring General Gunther. Solo Sikoa from SmackDown taking on a mystery opponent. I was completely shocked on Friday when the mystery opponent came out. I'm hoping for a little more shock tonight, and I would love to see it. There are certain names out there that we are expecting. I actually had Nick Aldis picked for SmackDown. That obviously didn't happen. But this is New York City. So who could it be? I will give my prediction on that coming up in just a little while. Now the match with the result I really didn't want to see. In our main event, we had Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defending the Women's Tag Team Championships against Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors. I really didn't want to see this. I'm tired of Asuka. I'm going to say this. Asuka, please retire. I think that the Kabuki Warriors needed to do a little bit more to earn an opportunity. I don't think they've done enough. Mr. Best says I'm gonna say Asuka stay. Of course he is. He has to do this just to contradict me, but it is time for Asuka to go away. She has been a very boring and stagnant competitor as long as I have been watching her, and that goes back to NXT. Yes, I know you're a fan of Asuka, Mr. Best, but I just don't see it. This was a fantastic match, ladies and gentlemen. Counter after counter, hit after hit, strike after strike. Both teams pulling out heelish tactics, both teams pulling out babyface tactics, both teams trying to distract. But in the end, it was a distraction from Nia Jax and a sneak attack from Lash Legend on Alexa Bliss that cost Charlotte and Alexa the Women's Tag Team Championships. The Kabuki Warriors are your new tag team champions. After the match, Lash, Nia, and the Kabuki Warriors proceeded to continue to beat down Charlotte and Alexa until Io Sky's music hit. She came out, got involved, until she started taking the beatdown because the numbers were just too much, which of course was then when we heard Rhea Ripley's theme hit. She came down, face mask and all, made the save, grabbed the mic, and uttered one word: War Games. And that excites me, ladies and gentlemen. I am truly excited. But again, this is Io Sky. The Women's War Games match always seems to revolve around Io Sky. Asuka and Kairi Sane. I'm going to give the Devils their due. They are consistently in the War Games, all three of them. This brought Raw to an epic conclusion. This was a fantastic show, start to finish. My match of the night would have to have gone to John Cena and Dominic Mysterio. And ladies and gentlemen, normally I would be on the side of Cena sucks in the Let's Go Cena Sucks chant. But this year, I'm appreciating everything that John Cena is giving us and has given us, because in just a matter of weeks, we say goodbye to the GOAT. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up momentarily, we will go to the preview portion of the show, but first, I got to pay some bills.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at carlcarafel.redbubble.com.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today, because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever wanted your break in podcasting, content creation, potential collaboration, or to help us out here behind the scenes, turnbucklestudios.org is the place to be. Go to the host section to meet the team, myself, Chris Best, Chris Parrish, Carl Carafel, and Bubba Duke. Get all of our social medias there. Watch our latest weekly episodic shows. Click the shop link to go to carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, ran into some technical difficulties. Click the shop link to go to carlcarafel.redbubble.com and get all of your Turnbuckle Affiliation Program merch. Or go to turnbucklestudios.org/join, which allows you to email us and somebody will be in contact. Tell us how you can help us, how we can help you, and we can sit down as a collaborative effort to figure out the best fit. And remember, your show does not have to be about wrestling or gaming. It can be whatever you want. Turnbucklestudios.org, ladies and gentlemen, the hottest site on the internet. Do it, and do it now. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the last time is now. This is John Cena's final appearance on Monday Night Raw. And I'm going to start this portion off by saying thank you, John, for everything, for 23 plus years that you have given us in the spotlight, out of the spotlight, everything you've done for Make-A-Wish, everything you've done in and out of the ring, how you have given back to the communities in such selfless ways. Thank you, John. Everything is appreciated. I am sure we are going to get John Cena out to open the show again, and I can't wait. This is, I don't know if this is going to be more of a tribute to John Cena tonight. I'm sure we are going to get those moments, but I don't want that to take away from everything we have. We are getting 2 more first round matchups tonight in the Last Time Is Now tournament. The first, as I mentioned a little while ago, Gunther and Javon Evans. I do believe that we are about to witness the unaliving of Javon Evans. I do not see him getting in a whole lot of offense, though I'm sure he'll get in a little bit. But I think this is going to be a statement match for Gunther, who has not been seen or heard from since getting injured at SummerSlam when he lost the World Heavyweight Championship to CM Punk. This is going to be perhaps the most defining victory in this entire tournament. But it is going to be Gunther coming out on top and advancing to the next round. Whoever his opponent is, it's going to be interesting. I would not be surprised to see the final of this tournament, which we are anticipating will be the Monday, December the 6th, or I believe it's Monday, December the 6th, leading into Saturday night's main event on December 13th. I would not be surprised to see that final as Gunther versus Rusev. But this is going to be intriguing to see what Gunther is bringing now. How upset is he after losing the title at SummerSlam and then, of course, being away because he was injured? How much pent-up frustration and aggression does Gunther have in him? How much can Javon Evans actually take? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Best said it. I'm saying it. I think Gunther is going to dominate. I think we witness the unaliving of Javon Evans and Gunther moves on. Solo Sikoa versus a mystery opponent in the Last Time Is Now tournament. We are in New York City. We had our speculations for Friday, and we were really gifted a surprise when Zack Ryder made his return. Now, we know it will not be Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona tonight. Again, the speculation is running rampant. We've tossed around names like Joe Hendry, who is in New York for NXT Gold Rush this week. We've tossed out a name like Austin Theory. I'm going to go a little off the cuff here. And I am going to say it is somebody that doesn't work there. I am going to go to TNA. And my prediction for this mystery opponent tonight is a man from New York City, from the Bronx, your former TNA champion, Mike Santana. That is my pick for Solo's mystery opponent. And if that is the case, what a hard-hitting affair that would be. I could absolutely see Joe Hendry as well, because Joe Hendry has been pining for the past year plus to get this match one-on-one with John Cena. And I would love to see that. And I do actually have Joe Hendry as a viable option to be that last match, because yes, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe Dom is the next one, but Joe Hendry is the now one. We are going to hear from Nikki Bella in regards to her attack on Stephanie Vaquera from last week, which, again, to me really didn't make a whole lot of sense. I really don't need to see it. We know that this is going to become a confrontation. I wouldn't be surprised to see us get this match at War Games, but I'm not in a rush for it. Other appearances: CM Punk, Rhea Ripley, Jey Uso, Sheamus, Rusev, LA Knight, Kabuki Warriors, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, and The New Day are all confirmed to appear. Do not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if we see CM Punk, the Usos, and Cody Rhodes come out to address everything for War Games. Same with Rhea Ripley. I think Rhea is going to probably invite Charlotte Flair out from what happened on SmackDown to try and smooth things over there and get them on the same page. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, they are going to be looking for their next contenders, whoever that may be. LA Knight really doesn't seem to have anything going on or going right currently. Could he become the fifth man on Team Punk for Survivor Series? Possibly, but I'm not counting on it. Are we going to get our answer to the fifth member of the Vision? Again, probably, but I don't know who it could be. Again, we've had names like Brock Lesnar tossed out there. We've heard Austin Theory's name being speculated for that spot. I'd rather see Theory than Brock. I really would, just because I don't need Brock Lesnar around anymore. I don't mind seeing him, but I don't need him on my screen. I don't need him in Survivor Series. Either way, do we get our answer as to the fifth man? I do believe we do. We've heard LA Knight. I do believe it's going to be Roman Reigns as the fifth man for Team Punk. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see how all of that plays out. Mr. Best made mention earlier. There is a rumor that AJ Lee is at Raw tonight, and that really wouldn't surprise me, because Becky Lynch will be defending her Women's Intercontinental Championship against Maxine Dupree. Is the third time a charm for Maxine? I'm going to say no. Maxine should win, but Maxine just isn't ready for a belt just yet. I know she said that physically she's ready, but ready is also a state of mind. We know that over the last few weeks, we've seen her say, you know, when that time comes, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say, yes, give me that match. I've got a friend that I've got to train with. We know it's not Natty. I would not be surprised if this is where we do see or hear from AJ Lee. AJ Lee could very easily cost Becky the Intercontinental Championship, and then we can get that one-on-one match without that Intercontinental Championship as a set piece for it. We don't really need it in there, but I don't think that Maxine is the right person to take the Women's Intercontinental Championship. At least not yet. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me here at the Locker Room Breakdown this evening. Please stay tuned. Head over to the Turnbuckle Studios YouTube page to catch myself and Mr. Best with the Raw Patrol. If you are looking to look for me on the socials, like I said, you can head over to turnbucklestudios.org and go to the host section, or you can go to my link tree. linktr.ee/OMD show. From all, ladies and gentlemen, please let me tell you this. Please remember the world is better with you in it. From all of us here at the Locker Room Break.
Up the hand so true, loyal until his friend goes number 2. During the heat of the game, it's clear he's a champ when all else disappears. Rally the team with a wink and a cheer.